Welcome back to the 8:30 show. Today we're going to discuss the return to the congressional hearing with Ryan Graves, David Grusch, and the pilot. What's his name?
I don't know his name. Sorry.
Oh, Commander Frazier. Sorry for that, but yeah, Commander Frazier. I had a brain fart. So, did you watch it? It's a 2 hour and 22 minute disclosure video.
Yes, I did. And of course, on TikTok, there's bits and pieces. This
Yeah, yeah,
one guy was like, "I watched this so you wouldn't,"
yeah. I've
and
seen
he
that.
gave us the highlights, which I didn't think were too many of the highlights. There was a lot of stuff discussed, things were said, but I, yeah, I have questions about that. A lot of questions.
Like what?
Well, I feel so. I gave you that my theory about the last time David Grush came out when he did that interview, and he came out
Hmm.
saying all of this is true, blah blah blah. So my theory is this. This is my timeline, how I saw it, how it happened for me. I don't know if it's anyone else's, but this is mine.
Yeah,
Mine was David Grush came out saying aliens or extraterrestrials are real, non-human, whatever. UFOs are legit.
yeah.
Then like I want to say the next day or it may be 2 days later, a UFO lands in someone's backyard in Vegas. Whatever. Whether it did or didn't, it's besides the point. Then like the day after that, Dr. Greer comes out saying UFOs are real, extraterrestrials are real.
Hmm.
So I felt like, what's going on here? Did David Grush come out to beat Dr. Greer to the punch? And that way the government has the narrative because at this point something's going to happen. Something's going to happen that they can't hide. They can't hide it. That or that whole what is it called? False flag.
Hmm.
They're gonna do the false flag thing. And I'm curious to know because again, Dr. Greer talked about a time limit. We're on a clock, like
Yeah,
what's the clock?
yeah.
Is that why he came out? Grush came out to say, yes, this is happening. And that way they can control the narrative, the government. And he's not a whistleblower. He's just the front man. He's, you
No, I
know,
get you. He's leading
and
the
of course,
propaganda
I
type
don't
of
know
thing.
shit. I'm just speculating. This isn't, I don't have any hard facts, but just that's the way my mind works, and that's what I kind of think. So now that he came out with the whole Congress thing, I'm like, what's next? What's is another a spaceship gonna pop up, and just chill in LA and just hover? Sorry,
Yeah.
just hover, or and then another disclosure comes out with actual more better proof. And it's crazy it's crazy times. It's crazy
Well,
fucking times.
I don't think that that it was that. I think it was more coincidence in those timelines as
Yeah.
far as how you're saying. Um, the disclosure,
If you
Doctor
believe in coincidence, I mean, yeah.
Doctor Stephen Greer's disclosure. I think maybe even Grush was on there. I don't remember for
I do not
sure.
recall seeing him on there. I watched the whole thing.
So did I, but I think he might be. I don't know if he spoke, but I think he was there. I think he's there.
I don't know.
I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I could be
And
just
see, okay,
hold on.
okay,
I
go
could
ahead.
be just
Let me write this down because
um, I could be saying that and thinking because of the time how quickly they came out. You know, you had the Nation Now interview with David Grush, and then you had the disclosure by Stephen Greer
yeah,
around the same time frame. I could just be in my head putting them together.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But this one was interesting. I did like some of the things that they were discussing. The only thing I didn't like is, for the most part, Mr. Graves and Grush. they really couldn't talk about too much. Like everything they when they were trying to get more information, they had to say a skiff.
Controlling the narrative,
Yeah,
David.
inside we have to. I can only disclose that in a private setting
Yeah.
because of classification
Whatever.
levels.
Get the fuck out of here.
Um, that's cool and all, but at least give. I mean, I guess they can't. Maybe I don't know. David Grusch said in one part that he can't say certain things because it could put him in jail because of it.
Controlling the narrative.
Well, hey, they signed these 1,000-year NDAs.
Then why the fuck did he come out? Why are you out here kind of whistleblowing? Kind of. You're kind of at this point. You knew the deal. You knew what you were doing when you came out and did that whatever report or whatever, and now they're coming for you. You knew that was going to happen. So why the fuck did you come out? Because I feel that they want to control the narrative. They want to feed us, like they always do, feed us bits and pieces so that we'll be like, okay, fine, it's real,
No, I hear
and
what
let's
you're saying.
just leave it alone at that. I mean, at this point, it's invasion already. We've
Secret
been
invasion?
secret. No, for real.
I know.
For real, it's secret invasion. How many videos are out there, and how much shit is out there? And most likely, or I don't want to say that. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the government, that they try to throw us off. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
always the case.
but that's what I'm saying.
They've
Like,
been doing that for years.
so yeah, I just feel like it's the narrative and they're trying to control it. And that's why he's out here. And that's why he's over here telling Congress, oh, I can't talk about it. But behind closed doors, what the fuck? You already came out. You said what you had to say. So now this is how you're controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
By not telling the full scope of it. Just fucking tell us. What are we going to do? Go kill ourselves because there's other species that are alive? Trust me, we'll adjust.
I don't think that's why he's saying that.
Who?
Hold
Sorry.
on. I don't think that's why he's saying
Sorry.
that.
It just pisses me off.
I really don't. If you go back and listen to what he was saying, he's been threatened, his life, his family. So you gotta if everything that he's saying is as 100% true, then you have to take that part as truth as well.
I understand
And
that.
if he can't say things in the public's eye because his family could be in danger, I don't know if this man has kids, and his family can be in danger.
I get
he's
that.
He's got to if that's the case, then I can't condemn the man for not wanting to speak certain things in public if he's trying to make sure that his family is safe. We don't know.
No,
Hold on.
I'm not saying that.
But we don't know what has happened to him as far as becoming a whistleblower in that regard. And yeah, you kind of are by saying, like, why don't you just spill it? But I'm saying maybe this is the reason why he won't spill it in front.
Yeah.
In the public, but if behind closed doors he can tell them where he's not he's not pointed out as the one that actually gave these Congress people this specific thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I can understand that aspect. I mean, we've seen, we've heard, we've read countless bits of material from people that have come out from the government, and they say that their lives have been threatened, they've had issues, were contacted.
Let me say my piece then. In regards to him being threatened, his family, the whole nine, I understand that. I get where you're coming from with that, and it's understandable. Who would want their family to be threatened? But he is not the first whistleblower.
No.
He's not. We all know what happens to whistleblowers. He's a high-ranking officer in the military. So you mean to tell me he was naive that this wouldn't happen to him? Are you kidding me? Why come out and say all these things if you're like, oh, they won't touch me? Come on. They've touched several people. A lot of people have died. I mean, you guys are listening to these disclosures and these Congress meetings and whatever, and they're telling you that they've killed people. So
Without telling you.
they said it.
No,
It wasn't.
He asked the question. The
No,
congressman asked the question.
It wasn't just him. It was Greer too. They're saying that they've killed a lot of people have lost their life because of this, because of this secret. But you knew.
Yeah.
You knew. This isn't brand new, and I get that. Your family's in danger. You're being threatened. I understand all of that. But you knew. So why do all of this? That's what that's my point of view. Why are you doing all of this if this could be a possibility? But now you want to pull back. I mean, you came out, chest out and shit, and like, this is what it is. This is what we're doing. This is what we're saying. This is how it is. But now you're like pulling back because they threatened you. You didn't think any of that shit was going to happen to begin with. So that's why they're trying to control the narrative. That way, everything else that comes after him is whatever. We already heard it.
No,
the government already, or this guy already admit, and of course you work for the government, so you're willing to do the bad guy part. We're not gonna go check his bank accounts. We're gonna check anyone's shit. You know what I mean? We don't have access like that. They do. So the story he's telling us about, they're coming for him and all this and that, I don't know if that's true. At this point, I kind of don't believe him about, what was it we were watching? Truth by Lying.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And that's what he's doing. He's telling the truth. He's not,
the lie?
But yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's but do you get what I'm saying? It's his way of kind of disclosing, but not disclosing enough.
Yeah.
You make $100,000. Someone asks you, how much do you make? You tell them, I make over 30. You're not lying. You're not. You're just not giving them an exact number. They don't need to know that you make $100,000, but you didn't lie about it. You make over 30, and that's true.
Excuse me.
So what makes me think that he's not doing that?
No, I hear you on that. But I think we're getting off.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. But that's my opinion. That's my theory. It's just a theory. I don't know shit. I don't have proof. That's just where my mind took me, because I'm suspicious of everyone.
Again, I think that the reason why a lot of these whistleblowers do not come forward with certain things, it's because of that. And why would he come out and say these things? And my opinion is this: I think that because these are military men who have given so much time to the military, they pled their oath, they pledged their allegiance to the Constitution. I feel like they see things that go against that belief, and they try to do it the right way, like going through whoever ranks and stuff. I mean, this is the same story that what's his name, Lou Elizondo said. He tried to do these same things, and
they tried to discredit him.
But he tried to go through the proper channels, and it wouldn't work. And then, so eventually he was like, F it, I'm going to go do it my own way, and I'm going to get this stuff out there.
Yeah.
Now, the difference between probably Lou and David Grusch is probably David Grusch has young children. Lou, I've never heard about him having a spouse and kids or anything, but
whatever.
Who knows, he could just not have them shown because his life could be threatened.
Well, that and the fact that he's on camera now, and people are crazy. Like, they will walk up to you randomly and just say some shit, and you're just, and because they disagree with what you're saying, and just start talking shit to you. And it's like, okay, whatever, you don't want your family to go through that. So I can see that he's,
So but that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. I think that these military guys have tried to go through the proper channels, and now they're forced to do it this way
yeah,
because I feel like part of it is part of their belief system. On most military people who've gotten this far into the military game, their belief is very strong, and then when they get stonewalled and get
yeah,
bullshitted, it's only a sort, if they're gonna bring it out and do these hearings and things. That's where I'm coming from. This is why I think that he would do that. Now, the fact that he's still under class, he still has classified. Um, what is the word I'm looking for? He still holds classification titles. I think that that's why he can't come out fully into the public narrative with it, but
yeah,
he'll do it with on a one-on-one with certain people in Congress, because for him it's not him really telling, it's him telling them, and then they're having to go and dig up the stuff themselves. Now that's the real question to me, is if they do have these closed meeting behind, without cameras, and they are acknowledging these things and giving them the information, and now the Congress people aren't pursuing it, I want to know why at that point. You know what I
mm,
mean? It's like, okay, so the whistleblower came out, regardless of who it is. This whistleblower has come out, told you all these things, giving you basically the roadmap to look all this stuff up. Some of the things they even say in that hearing, like, you can look this up, you can look that up, and kind of just follow the trail, and you'll find it.
yeah,
Um, I feel like if they're not going to follow through, then what's the point on doing these hearings? If as a congressperson, a senator, whatever, your whole thing is, yeah, I'm gonna have the hearing, we're gonna hear you out, but really, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna even bother. I'm not gonna look into it. You know what I mean?
hmm,
I'm not gonna get involved, but I'll do the hearing.
yeah,
I'll what is it? I'll humor you.
yeah,
Um, like, some of the things that they were talking about in this hearing was like the reporting aspect,
mm,
um, where they mentioned, like, all three of them, Graves, Frazier, and Grusch, all mentioned that the reporting situation is hot garbage. Like, they report these things. People in the military are reporting these things, but then they're going nowhere because they end up on the office floor type of thing. You know what I mean? Just
mm-hmm,
pushed into a corner, and there's no way to follow it. You have to really do all this due diligence, and it shouldn't be that difficult because it's just in some storage facility, in some file cabinet, just whatever. No one's ever looked it up. Like, Commander Frazier was talking about his incident with the Tic Tac, and they asked him, like, how is it reported? Who was did the commanding officer come and talk to you guys? And he's like, I'm the commanding officer. Like, who am I going to talk to? Myself? I'm going to go stand in the mirror and say, okay, Frazier, what did you see? And debrief yourself. That was the kind of thing. He's
mm,
like, no one else came to me. They didn't even pull the radar data. I think he made a report, like an incident report, that they saw something, they witnessed something, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. But they didn't really, like, go forward with anything. And by the time he saw what he saw, the whole, I guess, squadron or battalion that was at sea had already been seeing these things for a week prior, and nothing. He didn't find out about it until he's in the air doing his test that they were doing,
mm-hmm,
and they're like, "Hey, by the way, there's something out there. Can you guys go check that out?" You know what I mean? It's like,
mm-hmm,
that's the thing. And then the other thing was, regarding the reporting, was, um, Ryan Graves, he was saying that on the civilian side for pilots, it's a kind of a don't ask, don't tell scenario with these corporations. They don't want to get involved, and they don't want to have their pilots get involved. And if their pilots do get involved in disclosing things, then they can lose their job and they can be deemed crazy and yada yada yada. And you know the old stories. It's you didn't see anything at 30,000 feet but swamp gas. It was a reflection in the atmosphere that made you think that you saw something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting that all this stuff is coming out, and I am still curious to see what Mr. Greer has to drop on his ticking clock.
Yeah. Um I'm back to my theory about, why it's coming out now and all of that. I really feel like that's a reason, but it is interesting. I'm very happy that it's happening in my lifetime. I really am. Because I've always believed. I've always believed. And if it end up being a hoax and not true and the government was just bullshitting, then so be it. But I have a hell of an imagination, and I this doesn't seem so far fetched to me at all. Now, if they show up and knock on my door, I'm gonna be spooked probably. But yeah, I've always believed. So to me, this is exciting. This is so exciting because there's just no way that we are that special to be the only beings in this universe. It's just not possible.
It's funny that you say that because I was watching a different interview with Dr. Greer, and he was talking. You know how whenever you watch Dr. Greer, he always does these quotes, or he
Yeah.
talks about people who he's met, and they give him these fantastic quotes, and he quotes them.
Yeah.
I always find that interesting, but that's a conversation for another day. But but he mentioned that I guess he spoke to some religious person,
Mm-hmm.
a Vatican connected person. I don't know. I don't remember who he said exactly, but he was saying like, do you really think God would put all of its eggs? I'm paraphrasing, by the way. Do you really think God will put all of its eggs in humanity in this vast universe?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that is, to me, it would be no. Like, I don't think that there's. I mean, I think what I guess intelligent life looks like is go watch a Marvel movie from space when they're in space. You have all these different types of humanoid type creatures. Some humanoid, some not humanoid, some other, you know? Or you look at Star Wars or Star Trek, and I feel like that that's what you would see. You know what I mean? If I don't think that Earth I think Earth is unique for its corner of the universe that we're sitting in as far as that goes, but that's as far as I feel that it goes. You know, it's like you drive down the street and you see a really nice house.
We are the fucking slums of the
Hold on,
universe.
yeah, but hold on. Like you know, you see these. You drive into one
Wow.
neighborhood, you see these really
Mm.
nice houses and these nice,
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
properties, and then you drive down the freeway, and then you hit the projects, and you're like, what the fuck? Click, click. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
then you drive somewhere else, and it's like in between that. It's
Yeah.
not. It's you know, you still have some nice homes, but they're not as nice as the ones that you saw
Excuse
before.
me. Sorry.
They're not as nice as the ones you saw earlier, and that's kind of what I feel like where Earth sits. I think Earth sits in
Yeah.
that wasteland area where it's not too many things next to us, um, in regards to how we perceive distance
Mm-hmm.
versus, I guess, um, a civilization that is spacefaring already. I mean, we're not even spacefaring. We're so dumb. We're still trying to talk about Is the Earth flat or is it round? Can we get into space? Have they lied to us? Is it all a simulation? No, it's not a simulation. Are we living in the Matrix? Maybe we're living in the Matrix.
What's behind the wall?
What's behind the wall? I mean, this is how dumb humanity is currently. You know,
I mean,
when
is there more? If is hold on, is okay? So we're not going to get into the whole flat Earth thing.
no, I'm
But
just
hold on,
throwing
no,
those
no, no,
ideas
no.
out there.
I'm
those
not.
concepts.
I'm not trying to get into the whole flat Earth thing. But what I am going to say is, what if we are a globe? It's round, but there's just more, and that's the part that they don't want to show us.
That could be true.
And
I
that, like, how the flat Earth people think like we're flat, and all the continents are just laid out on a like fucking
On a plane.
hold on a lazy Susan.
Yeah, we're just spinning on
Yeah,
that.
we're just spinning around, right? So but what makes us think that that's not the case? Like, what if there is a fucking wall, but it's just around the world? You know what I mean? So there's a other side, just like there's another side of the moon. There's a dark side of the moon. Yeah. So there's the other side of Earth that we're just not allowed to go to because it's probably magical as fuck, and we'll go and destroy it.
That's where the real unicorns are at.
We will take our side of the fucking orange is shriveling up. Meanwhile, the other side is looking fresh and brand motherfucking new. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying, and
we're destroying our planet. We're destroying our side of the planet.
And so what I was getting at is, like, we aren't even at the level we can't even get to Mars. We haven't even gone back. Wait, for those that believe we went to the moon, and for those that believe that we didn't go to the moon, we still haven't gone back, regardless of how you view that situation. We still never gone back.
Yeah.
To the moon.
No, yeah.
To the moon. To me, the moon is like, okay, the Earth is our house. The moon is the porch. We haven't even gone back to the porch. At all.
Yeah.
And we
have the technology.
Yeah, we have the technology.
Grusch and Greer have already confirmed that we have the technology, and the government is just holding it to themselves. And it's not even the government.
Yeah, it's the secret government.
It's the secret government that the government ain't even allowed to be a part of anymore.
You know,
there's a whole thing. It's what's it called?
Compartmentalization.
No. It's Hydra.
what
Hydra is there. Like, I feel like, what if that's the case? What if it's just like fucking the comic books, Marvel, the whole deal? They came from, Hitler's party, and they spread like a fucking disease within our governments because they did bring a scientist over and used his technology and his brain to create shit. So this is true.
This is Captain America.
So what
the
were
Winter
you
Soldier
saying?
in
Hold
real life.
on. What were you saying that art
oh yeah.
Art, because you're not helping either. Art becomes reality or something like that, and that reality is now become art or whatever. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's true. They took, what's his name? I don't remember the scientist's name.
From Captain America?
No, not from Captain America.
Wernher von Braun?
Yes.
And his homies?
Yes.
Operation Paperclip.
That was real. Just like in Captain America, they took the scientist and they used him, and he spread his little Hydra disease within our government, and that's why you had Gary Chandling
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say Congress people, the ones that have the power, because we think that certain people in government have the power, and in reality they're not the lawmakers, it's others. I don't remember who that is. There's a guy, a rapper that did it. He basically told us that it's certain people in government.
I don't remember. Tom DeLonge?
No. He's a rapper now?
I don't know, he could be.
I said he was a rapper.
Who?
I don't remember. And he said
Tupac.
certain people in Congress, they're the ones that make up the laws, and they're the ones we should be voting in and out, not being worried about governor, mayor, none of that. It's like a congressman or someone like a senator or something. I don't remember.
Somebody
But
please leave that in the comments for us because I cannot. I'm drawing a blank. I mean, I think I've been.
okay, so anyway, the lawmakers, the ones that create the laws, they're not the mayor, the governor. You know what I'm saying? They're
The local government.
correct. So I now I lost my train of thought on what I was trying to say because you're lost on that.
So
But
I wanna
yeah,
hold on. I wanna segue
sorry.
into this. If you like our content, please feel free to like and subscribe.
So so what I was saying is that they've infected our government.
Yeah.
So now we have all these, we got Hail Hydra, we got the dark side, we've got all these probably different sections,
The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire, like all of
Unlimited
that.
power.
But that's what's happening.
No, I get
There's
you.
a government within the government, and Greer has said this, and Grusch brushed over that, basically saying that there's a part of the government that our own government can't even access now at this point.
President.
So, and that's the warning that Greer did, where he's
Yeah.
like, you guys need to intervene. You need to do something about this because the clock is ticking. What time is it on that clock, somebody?
Who was it? Was it FDR who said, or I can't remember which one it was. Was it Carter? I don't remember, but one of these presidents a while back were like, the one thing that you have to that we as an American civilization, society, whatever, have to keep an eye on is the military industrial complex. And I feel like the military industrial complex is the government inside the government.
Yeah.
That's who I think.
The superpowers. Because they are not the superpower. We're no longer the superpower. Even though they want to still claim that United States is the superpower, but we're not. They're slowly taking us the fuck down. Other governments, other countries, other leaders, world leaders or whatever. They're trying to take us the fuck down because these greedy motherfuckers have taken over and now they're just trying to make a buck off of us. Their own people.
I disagree
taxes.
I disagree with America not being a superpower. We are still.
I feel like we're not.
We are still a superpower.
Superpowered.
And this is why I say that, because the United States is the police of the world. I don't care how anyone sees it or wants to see it. Number 2 would be Russia and China.
All right.
Because
I guess you know more than I do. So
the reason I say that is because America wants to police any country that has nuke technology that are going to weaponize it. The only people that America...
Who the fuck is policing America?
Hold on. And the only people that America feel comfortable with having nukes is America. They don't even want Russia to have them, but they have no choice because Russia can be just as powerful as us. I don't know about currently because things, shit is happening, and war in Ukraine and all that, yada, yada, yada. But, and then China's buying up Africa. So
yeah,
China's buying up all kind of stuff, so,
yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off topic here. But again,
what I was talking about, and I understand what you're saying in regards to superpower. I don't agree, but that's,
yeah.
We agree to disagree. So back to, he brushed over the government within the government, which I think is very important for us because we're paying for this, for them to do this. Maybe corporations have their money in there, but I'm pretty sure they're using tax dollars
You better believe it,
to pay for reverse engineering, creating all this new technology. And like the leap we took, from one decade to the other with technology, it is crazy, and it's It's
Yeah.
interesting too. Um, and they've been feeding us tidbits throughout the decades,
Hmm.
so that way we don't ask so many questions, and we're just, I mean,
Also,
oh,
also, I was just feeding in on that what you're saying. Like,
okay.
I feel like if they feed us tidbits of technology throughout the ages, it looks like we're advancing
Hmm.
by our own. Like, I do believe humankind has made advances on their own. I do believe that.
Yeah.
But I also believe that there are other forces at play that have helped advance us with technology.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all been inspired by the human mind.
Hmm.
I think the human mind has seen some things and has developed some things off of it. And one of the reasons I feel like this is because going back to TV shows, um, things that have happened in TV shows that were like, oh, I wish I could have that or this, and that. Next thing you know, we have them. We have phones. We have tablets. We have look at our computer systems now. Um, look at we've had electric cars forever, so I don't consider electric cars in that category.
Hmm.
But wait till the next generation of electric cars come out. Look at we're starting to get quadcopters that you can fly in. One has already been approved, which I'm still waiting on my Jetson car. I don't care if I can fly it or it's on autopilot, but still, I want that shit because traffic in LA sucks.
Oh, it'll be traffic. It'll be just like the Fifth Element. Do you see traffic? There's sky traffic.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If it's
Yeah.
sky traffic, I'm driving. If it's road traffic, I'm flying.
Mm. Eventually, we'll get to both.
Yeah, I need the car that can do both. It don't have to be the fastest car. It's just I need to avoid the traffic, either in 3D space or on 2D space on the ground.
Yeah, I'm very happy that this is coming out, that all of this is coming
Yeah.
out. I look forward to, because according to Chris Bledsoe, Dr. Greer, these are not hostile beings. We're the hostile ones. They're
Hmm.
not hostile towards us. They're actually concerned for us because these people in government and with power are doing shit to kill off this planet and make sure that their people are okay. Meanwhile, it's like any other story.
Yeah.
The poor person gets the raw end of the deal. Meanwhile, the person with power and money gets away with whatever and however money. I mean, these billionaires could end poverty. These billionaires could feed the world, and they choose not to. Instead, they want to charge us more for little bits of shit, like we talked about, for shrinkflation. And
Well,
this is all greed. We're in the greed process. And we talked about Bezos and his, you know, trillionaire yacht,
yeah.
and you were like, well, if I had it like that, I would too, which is fine. He
No, I
can.
said I ain't mad at him because of
No,
that. Yeah.
well, I'm saying it's fine. Like, that's fine. If he wants to go and buy a fucking yacht the size of an island, by all means. But don't you concern yourself with humanity, with the amount of money that you have? Like, doesn't that worry you? Because you have kids. I'm sure he has kids, and if not, he's got family members that have kids, and doesn't that concern their future too? Or are you taking care of them, like, so they don't have to worry about that? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the amount of money these people have, they can't take it with them. And I'm not saying you got to pay for my lifestyle. I'm not telling you I need some new Gucci or none of that, but the fucking price of food, the price of power, the price of gas, the price to buy new tires for your car, the price to pay for your kids' clothes, shoes, school shit, it's outrageous.
Well, here's the thing. I don't. That's kind of not. You're not going to agree with this, but
Yeah.
that's not their business they're not in the business to do that. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He owns Amazon as a. I don't know if he's still the CEO or if he stepped down or
No, I think he stepped
silent
down.
partner, silent CEO, whatever. He's still getting money off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not his responsibility.
No, it's not.
Hold on. It's not his
No.
responsibility for that. I mean, the only thing that he can do, if he can, but he can't because his company is public, is he could lower prices. He can make things a little bit more affordable, but it's not. That's not his responsibility. Um, his responsibility, I mean, let's be real, his responsibility is to him, his family, and his whatever little circle he has.
No, I get that.
The real responsibility to all that is the government, the SEC, and the feds with all this inflation bullshit. That's the people that we need to be looking at. They're the ones that are causing that. It's not so much these billionaire trillionaires. Yeah, sure, they can help, they can do things. I'm sure they do charitable donations. Um, but does that mean that the charity is on the up and up and is doing exactly what the charity's supposed to do? Is a charity keeping 10% and only doing 1%? You know what I mean?
I hear you, and I can respond, but I'm gonna let you finish.
No, but that's what I was saying. Like, so when it comes to these billionaire, trillionaire people, yeah, I think that you have a point as far as they can do stuff, but I think they probably do stuff in that regard. But it sounds like what you're saying is you want them to open up these things and do them themselves, like physically be there to say, "Hey, here's the organization. Come in," and that's just how I took it.
Is that what I said?
That's
I don't think
how
I
I took
said
it.
that. I think that they should do their part, is what I said.
But what's
I
their
didn't say,
part?
hold on, let me finish. I feel you are absolutely 100% correct. It is not their responsibility at all. But as a human being, to be one of the richest people in the world,
Hmm.
if I had billions, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give away half of that to
Okay,
help humanity. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Tomorrow, I'm going to have another billion.
I
Because
hear you.
hold on, because that's how it works for him. This man can never be broke. As long as his company continues to take out other companies, other stores, he's never going to be broke. So, what's a billion to him when he's going to make it in no time? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's got to go downtown to Skid Row and start handing out cash, checks, or whatever. I'm saying that there's a way, there has to be a way that he could do his part with all of that money. And I get that he can go and splurge and do whatever the fuck he wants with his money. He earned it. But me, as a person, as a human being, I couldn't live with myself knowing that I have 5 gazillion fucking dollars,
Hmm.
whatever the number is, and I'm not giving my fair share.
But that's what I'm
That's hold
saying.
on. I'd
Go
let
ahead.
you say your piece.
Go ahead.
That's how I feel about it. I get that he does not have a responsibility, but I'm talking about me.
Okay.
If I had that kind of money,
Okay.
I would give my fair share. If I got to give half my fucking fortune so that I can get these homeless people off the street, so I can help in a real fucking way.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. So, and I agreed with you. He does not have that responsibility to do that. He earned his money, absolutely.
Hmm.
Just like you and I get up and go to work. That's what this man did
Hmm.
to get to this point. But I couldn't sleep at night knowing that I'm over here living the way I'm living and that all these other people are suffering.
Again, I acknowledge what you're saying, but I have to go back to this. How do you know that he doesn't do that?
Because I see the bum outside down the street
But
living. I
but
see hold on. You're asking me a question. Do you want me to answer
no,
or
no, I
not?
wasn't finished with my
Oh, okay. Go
statement.
ahead and finish because
Because what I'm saying is, if he would, I don't know his life. You don't know his life
nope.
either. But what I'm saying is, he may not be doing it physically himself,
Yeah.
starting a charity and doing it that way. Maybe he's donating to charities that are supposed to be doing this. But if he's doing that and the charities aren't holding up their end, then who's at fault with that?
I understand.
That's what I'm getting at.
And that's a charity. I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
That's what I'm getting
because
at.
they'll take, you'll give them 100% of your money. They'll take 60% and or more because they got to pay the people to go do the shit. They got to pay for this, that, and the other fucking thing. And then what's left over is like 10%. I've seen that. I understand that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
what if that's what these...
with money, you can do a lot of things and you can hire a lot of people with money, and which he has, which is literally coming out of his asshole.
But again,
I can't agree with any of this. Like, I understand, again, it's his money. He does whatever he wants. It's his right. I'm speaking on how I would feel about it and having that kind of money.
I get you, but I'm saying, if you had that kind of money and you were giving this money to a charity thinking everything was on the up and up.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to a charity knowing that they do what they do.
So what would you do?
So I would take more of my money and I would create my own fucking charity and I'd pay them, and 100% of what I fucking give, that is to pay the people, and then the charity money would be separate because I have that kind of money, because I'm a fucking billionaire. So I do what I want.
No, I get you.
But you're over here setting rules and guidelines, and for what? When you got money to do these things. That's what I'm saying.
I hear you on that. I don't agree with
that's
your
fine.
analogy. I think your analogy is
just like I think yours is
off base. I think that I think that they probably do a lot for what they
not
have.
Enough.
But then we get down to that scenario, is how much is enough? What is enough? You know what I mean? Like, what is enough?
For homeless people to not be homeless, or at least try to help them. A lot of these people don't get the help. And you've seen it. Mm-hmm. You've seen it. It's not even about, like, I'm being charged money for medical shit. I don't have the money. So what do? How do I pay for it? It goes to collections. Some asshole starts bugging me. I need that money. I need that, but I ain't got it. So then these people start getting sick because they're stressed out. They get sick because stress will make you sick. So before you know it, it's affecting work. It's affecting life. Mm-hmm. And they wind up with nothing.
No,
this has happened.
I understand how things happen.
Hold on. This has happened. So I'm being charged and now I'm homeless. You know what I mean? So how the fuck do I get back on my feet? Yeah, I can go and do and whatever, but then rent's so motherfucking high. So now I got to live in my car. If I have a car. So I got to live in my car. And I got to pick myself back up. Where do I go shower? Because, women's shelters, even in the fucking movies, they tell you it's bullshit. They're not safe. Especially for women. So what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to get back up on our feet if we don't have help, real help? And it happens to a lot of people. Good people. It just happens that way because these greedy people are taking over the world, and all they care about is money, 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 and they don't care about humanity. They don't care about what's going on to their people, and it doesn't have to be what I mean by their people. I'm not saying white, black, whatever. I'm not saying any of it. I'm talking about the human race. I feel for people. Maybe I just have too much compassion. I don't know. So when I see people like him who has money to solve, because they've said it, that he can solve hunger, he can solve the homeless issue and do nothing about it. That I have an issue with that. And nothing against the man. I really I don't know him, but he's got the money. And hold on. He's got the money. So why not do something about actually you do something about it? No one's telling you to go to Skid Row and stand there and hand out money and checks. But you as a billionaire have the money and the power to do what needs to be done to get that accomplished, but you're not. So that's why I feel the way I feel, and I guess I am holding him responsible in a sense. He's never going to see this. Who gives a fuck, right? But this is just my opinion about how I feel about his money and what I feel he should do. But, you know, it's falling on deaf ears. So.
Yeah, again, I just don't think it's up to billionaires and trillionaires and these royal families in the Middle East, or, I mean, the royal family in England.
We're fucked.
To do that. I mean, they've proven time and time that they're not going to do it.
I know they have.
To me, why even waste the mental energy to think like they can do it and they can do it? They're not. They never were, they never are, they never have.
No, I understand that.
To me, that's kind of a dead conversation because they're not going to do it.
So my opinion doesn't count, is what he just said. That's how I took that.
It's not that your opinion doesn't count. It's that I'm saying that this is the way you feel, and I'm saying that you shouldn't feel that way about these billionaires because they're never going to do it.
I know they're not.
Never shown.
I know they're not, but I can't state how I feel about it.
I didn't say that.
You did. You just said you. Okay, let's.
I'm just saying
we're about to argue.
I'm just saying why even go there and say like, yeah, he can do this, he could do that, they can do this, they can do that, when history has proven time and time and time again that they're not about that life and they're not about to start changing it now.
Okay.
So who does it fall upon to make these changes?
I don't know who it falls upon.
Here, I'm not saying a specific person. I'm just saying like, okay, what class of people does it fall upon to make these changes? Well, first and foremost, it probably is going to need to come from the government. But we can't really rely on the government right now because they're too busy stockpiling fucking armaments for war
and losing $6 billion. Yeah.
Where that $6 billion could go to something else. I mean, to something that's going to benefit. I'm not going to just say humanity, but the American public. I mean, come on, we give all this money to Ukraine, but our people out in our own land is suffering. Where do we get all this money to send to Ukraine?
From corporations.
Well, again, like people wanted to do was to tax these corporations more and close these loopholes. But like I told you, we were talking about it yesterday, and I said, well, you know, I'm sure Jeff Bezos, because we were talking about Jeff Bezos, I'm sure Jeff Bezos pays a lot of money in taxes. Where his tax money goes, where it's appropriated at, I don't know. But I know for a fact that Amazon, the company, gets tax breaks to be in certain states. Well,
shocker.
They shouldn't. No corporation should have a tax break to be in a state, especially as big as Amazon.
But now, like, I feel like you're basically saying like my opinion is delusional. Like, I'm being delusional and thinking that these billionaires and trillionaires and gazillionaires are going to help out humanity and do all of this, just like you're delusional and thinking that they're going to fucking tax them, because they're not. So
it's going to be the continuing cycle.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But see, that's your opinion. And I feel that, you know, maybe they will. Maybe we'll get to a point in time where actually some change will happen. Maybe I have too much hope for humanity. Maybe I hold too much hope for people.
Well, I think I think it's what we saw in 9/11, and I think it's what we saw when President Ronald Reagan spoke at the UN. I think this world will not come together until there's a unified threat upon the world, whether it be alien, meteor, whatever. For us as a society, a human society,
I believe that,
to
I do
change.
agree with that.
To change.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of paralleling the same statement that Ronald Reagan had in that UN, except for he put aliens in it and said it was an invasion, and then no one wants to talk about that anymore. They kind of gloss over that nowadays, but anyway, what did he know?
Well, that's what a lot of people said. Like, what does he know? Even to this day, they would say that before this came out, this disclosure situation.
Yeah.
They would talk about Reagan and how he would make comments and he would put it in his speeches and kind of like, is that a hint?
Yeah, just
Are you trying to let us know something?
I'm talking about the budget,
and,
but all of a sudden here comes the alien.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where I feel that humanity in a whole, a global humanity, will make those type of changes. And until that occurs, it will never happen.
Hmm.
It's going to have to be some kind of global catastrophe. Yes, some, the great meteor is going to come back that wiped out the dinosaurs and come back for round 2 or 3, whichever one it is. The flood, because that's all throughout time. That's going to come back.
I'm kind of hoping that Chris Bledsoe can enlighten us some, since he has direct communication with them. Like, can you let us know what's going on?
Just let me know when the meteor happens.
I believe him over them at this point, because he's saying he communicates with them, and
So does Stephen Greer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
I actually believe those two over David Grusch and the other two that were on the panel.
I believe
because they were government, where Chris Bledsoe was not, and neither is Dr. Greer. Dr. Greer is a doctor.
I believe
real doctor, ER doctor.
I believe all of them.
I don't.
To a degree.
I mean, yeah, I believe some of what they're saying, but again, I go back to that's them the government trying to control the narrative.
Propaganda. Governments have been good for propaganda forever, but we
got to get ahead of this. We got to make sure that we're the one telling it, not them. We'll say we'll go after him. We'll,
control the narrative.
Whatever. Don't worry. We'll take care of you. It's fine, and all of that, and the threats and all of that. I understand, but there's something about him that just doesn't seem right, and I could be totally off base. But it's just a gut feeling. And I feel that he's just the face.
So you're saying he's a plant?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Yeah. Because why come out and say all that shit and then all of a sudden you're just like backpedaling? And yeah, it's true, but I can't really tell you much behind closed doors. Sure.
I hear you. I think a lot of what he had to say is true, or has some truth to it.
Yep.
Just like I believe the panelists that Dr. Stephen Greer had in his disclosure meeting had some truth to it. What degree and what value of truth is in those statements is still questionable and left up to us as the viewer or audience.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, look at Snowden. Richard Snowden.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, he's another whistleblower. Look at the what I call the original OG gangster whistleblower, Mr. Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
To me, the grandfather, the Mac Daddy of them all. Got that element 115, nigga. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Bob has some truths. I think Bob has some things that he probably didn't know, but still spoke about it, but wasn't 100%.
I believe Bob Lazar for sure.
Here's I'm gonna give you an example. Bob Lazar speaks about this one time he's walking through the base. He goes by a door that has a window in it and he sees a little figure, but he wasn't sure if it was an alien or if it was a doll. He couldn't say, and he couldn't just stop and look at it. So why tell that story? You know what I mean? If you're not sure what that is, why even mention it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying it could have been a dummy. Why bring it up? You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. Like, I think some of the stuff could be truths. Some of the stuff could be misled truths.
I
Um,
mean, we see what we see when we see it.
okay.
And sometimes, like the girl on the airplane, that motherfucker ain't real. You
Yeah.
know, what did she see? We haven't heard from her. A lot of people are speculating, oh, she's missing, she's dead, she's this, she's that. I believe she went on a cruise, and that's why no one's heard from her. And who knows? Maybe she doesn't want any of this drama, you know, but she said what she said, and she's like, this motherfucker ain't real. And then some other guy came on talking about that the guy was, you know, his eyes closed a different way, whatever. But we see what we see, and
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's not what we thought it was.
Well, my thing with that whole story with that person,
Yeah.
it's not even so much her. It's that where is the other footage? Where's the footage of her,
of the guy?
Of it doesn't even have to be of the guy specifically that she's talking about, but where is the panned footage to show the back of the plane? Where is that? Because every time they be like, oh, they show that clip that motherfucker is not real, and then they do the they do the pan. Oh, they do the pan shot, and it's a totally different plane, a totally different crew.
Oh, I know that.
Wearing a totally different outfit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You think I'm that dumb? Like,
yeah.
I didn't notice.
No, they like, well, that's the whole, you know, like trying to fool you into thinking they got the real shit and they don't.
But that's the first thing I'm gonna see.
But that's like clickbait, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but all of them have. There's only one video of her, and it's a long video as far as compared to the little clip of her saying that part. But there's a long video of her walking all the way to the front of the plane,
Yeah, I know.
and doing this rant all the way through the video. But then there's no video.
Okay, but my point to what we bringing her up is, what did she see? What did she see that other people didn't? So that's what I'm saying, you know.
No, I get
that's
it.
why I brought it up, because it just depends on what we all see. And I've told you before that no one sees what you see, even if you see it too.
No, you're absolutely right.
Your perspective of what's being seen versus mine, and we're in the same spot. We're standing next to each other, but you saw it one way, I saw it another, even though we both saw the same shit.
No,
that's what I'm talking about. I wasn't trying to bring her story up. I'm just saying, what did she see? Because no one else said anything. No one else got up. No one else freaked out. She freaked out. So what did she see?
But that was my point.
Yeah.
To that statement was, okay, why is there footage of her only, but there's no footage of the back of the plane where she's pointing to?
Yeah.
I mean, if we were on that plane and we're recording, and this lady's,
yeah,
who's back there?
What's going on? Who was she talking about? And I would have asked her too. I was like, who?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't want to be on this aluminum tube, but
people. So I've noticed. Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If the plane ain't got phalanges, I want to know.
So I've noticed something that happens in the world, where someone feels in danger, people don't step in. People won't walk up. People won't try to save them. You have your people that will. They'll jump in. They'll get in the way, whatever. But then you got your others who don't want to ask shit. They just want to watch. And that's kind of what happened for her, where everybody just watched. They didn't ask her shit. She was just like, that motherfucker back there is not real.
See, that's the part I have a problem with.
That's what I'm telling you, though. Like, people don't want to ask, especially on an airplane, because they are trying to go. And she's talking about getting off. So now they start asking her questions. They're delaying more. So I feel like,
I'm just saying, I get what you're saying, and I get all that. I'm just saying, as a videographer, if you're gonna be sitting there taking a video video.
But they're not.
They're
people
show the other
with a
part.
cell phone.
Take the other part of the video. I mean, you don't even have to be a videographer.
Hey.
I'm just giving it a title to make it sound good. But
First of
I'm
all,
just saying, if you got your camera out
This
and
dude.
you're taking a photo, at least rotate
Man, come
it
on.
back.
You can't even take a decent picture of me. What the fuck?
I do. You just
no,
don't
you
like 'em.
don't. Because I look crazy. You've seen the memes. The memes are real. I take a picture of him. He looks stoic. He looks classy. He takes a picture of me. I look like a fucking slob. I look disgusting. Man, get the fuck
You're
out of here.
crazy.
So you over here talking about videographers? Shut up. You can't even take a decent picture.
Hey, but I'm not the one recording a video of a lady having a
Okay,
mental
so
breakdown.
who's to say that they're not all like you?
Who-
And there's one like me.
But hold on. Even if it is one like me, I'm still gonna take my camera and be like, let me just go back here and look and see who back here.
Okay, so what if there is footage, but they didn't think anything of it? They thought she was fucking crazy. Because when I first saw the video, she sounded drunk. And everybody's saying she wasn't. You can make that face all day long, sir.
I'm just saying, as many
All right.
people were on that plane with as many cell phones and as many people in society today love to whip out that camera on that phone and take photos. I mean, we got
You see
Hold
shit
on.
and you don't take a picture
Hold-
of
hold-
it. I'm like, did you get a picture? Oh, I didn't think about it.
Hold
Man,
on.
come on.
Hold on. We're not
Ugh.
talking about me. We're talking about in generalities. You got all these people taking photos and videos of things occurring. This would have been the perfect time for somebody to whip out
Pero
the
no
phone.
lo hicieron.
No
They
entiendo.
didn't do it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody but one person.
Okay, so what is your point?
I want to know who the other motherfucker was on the plane.
Oh, man.
At least show me the back of the plane.
All right, well, they didn't.
Put a little
so
arrow and say, this is who she's talking about.
They didn't, so let it go. Blanche.
I did, because I
Let it
gave
go.
up. Once I saw the video of them doing the quick cut with a whole nother plane,
A whole
it
other
was like,
plane, yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
This is a dead
Me
story.
too. I felt the same way. I felt let down.
Yeah.
Whoever put that video together was like, really?
At least you could have
You're
got
an asshole. You think we're all stupid?
My thing was this. At least you could have got footage from the same type of plane company,
So, yeah.
so they have the same uniforms on.
It's man, video editing has gone to a whole other level now.
Hey, well, at least it wasn't AI.
Well,
I think on that note, I think this was we wrap it up at B.
yeah. I do want to bring something up before we go. History's doing Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. They're doing an episode on Chris Bledsoe, which I definitely want to watch. It comes out August 1st. And they're basically, I don't know 100%, but I know they were checking out him calling these beings, and they were checking his brainwaves while they were doing that.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was interesting because they were kind of stumped on what was going on, and the orbs were there. They showed up for him, but the way it happened was like his mind was completely controlled, and according to the people that were there, I'm not sure who they were. It was just a trailer. But that's not supposed to happen, the way his mind was working. So that was interesting. I can't wait to watch it. It's on History, August 1st. Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, with Chris, or about Chris Bledsoe. So watch it. So that's it. That's all.
Alrighty, this has been another episode. I hope you enjoy it. If you've made it this far, again, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and if you have ideas, we're open to hear
Shoot
them.
in the comments. Comment section is open for that.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.